to me, he is a Celtics legend. It didn't matter who was who was defending him.
Oh yeah,
he was cooking.
Yeah,
he was cooking. You had to be there to see that.
Right.
If there's one thing that anybody should take away from his story, his grind.
Welcome to Hip to the Games, the podcast for you, the basketball junkie and the hip hop head. I'm your host, Desmond, and I too have had hoop dreams and enjoy the beautiful genre of hip hop and its history. Together, we will enjoy some of the greatest albums, songs, artists, players, moments, teams, and so much more, while even mixing the two on occasion, all in my hope that you remember why you love both or either of these to begin with. You'll soon understand that Hip to the Games is more than just a podcast. It's a lifestyle. And if you were looking for a platform that combines both basketball and hip hop, you've come to the right place. They play my kind of basketball. And a lot of layers to this song if you're really paying attention. Here's a huge shout out to you for being hip to the games. Welcome to a new episode of Hip to the Games. Whether you are new to the H2DG family or a day one supporter, I sincerely thank you for listening or watching today's show. All praise to the creative director, Jesus Christ, as it's always a blessing to get in front of this microphone and share what he's put in my heart with you. And a special shout out to the home team, my 19 Media Group family, for the opportunity to represent a network filled with passionate independent podcasters. If you consider yourself hip to the games, I would really appreciate it if you took a few seconds to give the show an honest rating and review on audio platforms like Apple Podcasts or Spotify so we can continue to grow the H2DG family. But for now, though, the NBA offseason is here, which means that over here on H2DG, it's time to get back to our exclusive segment, You Had to Be There. When the NBA season ends and there's little to talk about, this is the perfect time to throw it back and give flowers to our NBA favorites of the past. Whether they are widely considered all-time greats or hidden gems, none of that matters here. There are legends, but there are also legends in our hearts. And that's what we want to do with You Had to Be There. This segment makes room for both of those. You had to be present to watch them play on a night in, night out basis to really appreciate what they brought to the game. And in today's edition of the episode, I am excited to be joined by owner of On the Sidelines Media and Celtics fan. Another Celtics fan making his appearance on H2DG, making his Hip to the Games debut is Derrick Myers as he takes us on a time travel journey to reminisce and or learn about one of his players that he enjoyed watching. And by the end of this episode, we hope to get the overall point across that you just had to be there to witness the way they impacted the game. Derrick, I'm happy and grateful to have you on the episode of Hip to the Games, man. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me on, man. I've been looking forward to this, so I love it, man. I love it. Thank you.
For sure, man. Like I've said off camera, man, I just we've been able to connect within the last few months a couple times, and sure. I admire what you've built with OTS as a sports platform, and respect the way you offer your critiques and your analysis, but in an honorable way. I think you and I both know, of course, man. I think we both know the sports world needs more of that, and I'm happy to allow our listener here to get a glimpse of that today.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. It is it's refreshing when you come across people that actually you can see take time with their craft and you know, actually appreciate all angles of the sport, not just on the court, but the reporting and all that stuff, and actually trying to be fair to the people that they're talking about. So I salute you for everything you've been doing with your show, man. It's a great platform. So I'm glad to be on here.
Thank you, man. Absolutely. But wasting no time, Derrick Myers, you've had a decent amount of time to think about it now. Who is that player that you look back on and just say, man, you had to be there?
Man, so I thought about actually like 3 different guys.
That's how it goes.
But I'm gonna bring up the guy that is actually one of my favorite, and he's actually to me he's very underrated in certain aspects. I think for the franchise itself and the fans, I think they appreciate him, but I think that overall, I kind of feel like his contribution kind of gets overlooked a little bit, and okay. I'm gonna talk to you about Isaiah Thomas, the little guy.
Isaiah,
yes sir.
Zeke.
IT4.
Oh, I think, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Not
the
the
remix,
OG.
The remix,
okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think
Nice.
specifically with his time with the Celtics, to me, he is a Celtics legend. And I think I've said that before, and people have actually given me a little bit of flack over it. But when you think about when he came to Boston, the team was horrible. Like
Y'all were still figuring some things out. It was a transition phase.
it was a big transition, man. That was a horrible time. And like when he came there, it was supposed to be a time of just kind of like a rebuild, right? We weren't even supposed to be in any conversations of contention. And just to see the immediate impact that he had on that team, coming over from Phoenix, bro, this man resurrected, and people actually think I'm joking. This man resurrected the intensity and fire that it takes to be on this team. Like,
for sure.
I feel like he brought that fire and that tenacity, that grind, the hustle. He brought that all back to Boston. That we had not had that specific intensity since KG was there.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, see, now I'm really excited because you say something like that, right? KG is a beloved member of the NBA fraternity, right? But
Yes, sir.
So this is the first player. If memory serves me correct, I know I've only done this. This is like the 7th episode if you had to be there, but
Yeah.
if memory serves me correct, this is the first one of the 2010s since I did like Andre Iguodala to start the series. So I'm excited because I really have the memory of this player.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to get into this. I know you say you want to focus on the Celtics part, but just as a whole. So of course, before we get into kind of his career summary, I need the origin story. Where were you when you first got wind of IT?
Ooh, when he was in Sacramento.
Okay.
I saw what he was doing out there and loved it, right? I didn't really, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't follow the Kings. I don't think anybody did.
Nobody. I was going to say no disrespect to the Kings fans, but we wasn't watching. Those were some dog years.
I'm pretty sure the Sacramento fans weren't even paying attention, but like it was just something different about him. And then when he got to Phoenix, it was more of the same. It was just kind of like you saw something there that was just, in my opinion, wasn't appreciated as much as it should have been by those franchises.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
He gets to Boston. I think it was 2014, 2015 season. Gets to Boston.
Yes.
And immediately, I mean, the smallest guy on the court, the smallest one. But to me, he was the most intense on the court, right? He was horrible on defense. I can't sugarcoat it. He wasn't. You had to hide him on defense, right? But he was willing to throw his body on the line,
absolutely.
Even if he got blown by, it was like he was going to be there, like and contest, right? There was something about his dynamic with Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley, who I actually was going to bring up Avery Bradley.
Oh, I would have loved that too.
I decided to go with him. Yeah.
They don't pick up full court like that no more.
Bro.
Shout out Andrew Nemhard. He did a good job, but they're not picking up like Avery no more.
At all, man. I think he's one of the most underrated players as well, because I actually learned a lot in terms of defensive assignment watching him. And this is during the dog years, right? Like this is
you got plenty of time to pay attention to those details.
yeah. And it was something about IT getting to that team though that just kind of like lit a fire. Like they had Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley,
Amir
Jonas
Johnson,
Bledsoe.
dogs,
Kelly Olynyk. Guys that really, like, when you look at their names on paper, the only one that should make a difference is Marcus Smart on paper.
Yeah,
he's the only one that you look at like, okay, yeah, I got a game plan for him. Everybody else, I can just kind of like make it up as I go.
Yeah,
IT had us contending, bro.
he
Like,
did.
and
He
this is
did.
if I'm not wrong, I might be wrong by this, but he was one of the first guys that, to me, it was like they named the fourth quarter after him. I can't remember. I was trying
Ooh,
to.
I think you're right. I think you're
Okay.
right. He did take the. I remember it was big because he took the Dame time thing. There was some debate of who did that first because
Yeah.
Dame did it, and
Yeah.
then IT made it his own. Like
Yeah.
that was a big deal back then. But I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Yeah.
He was one of
King of
the
the
few.
fourth.
Yeah.
And it was something about that fourth quarter, right? Like he just, that fire was going, man. Like, and he was so intense, especially in the playoffs. I mean, to me, he likely will not. He will likely not be a Hall of Famer, but he's one of those guys that, in my eyes, and people might think I'm stupid for saying this. There are specific players that, when the team gets a championship ring, I believe they should get an honorary ring. Okay,
Mm,
Isaiah Thomas is one. DeMar DeRozan is another.
yeah, that's a good example. I
You
see where you're
know,
headed. I see where you're
yeah.
headed.
I like there's because there are specific trades that kind of like lead to other things that allow you to get the player that ultimately leads you to that championship.
Right.
And I feel like he is one of them that deserves it. Marcus Smart, I would say the exact same thing, just for what he did in
Yeah.
Boston during that
And how
time
he got traded.
and how he got
Yeah.
traded. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if he did not get traded, we weren't getting Drew Holiday, which led us to getting a championship, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's little things like that where I'm looking at him like, if I were the owner of a franchise, I'm giving players like that an honorary championship, because when you look at how they impacted the team, whether it was the specific team that won the title or maybe the iteration before or two iterations before,
Mm-hmm.
their impact allowed the pathway to the championship,
Correct.
right? And that fire that he brought to Boston stayed there. That has been there
Mm,
since he has left. It's
mm.
been is it like, if you
What? Oh,
look at it,
what? Yeah. What makes you say that? What makes you say that with such conviction?
because now, even in bad years, we're supporting the team, right? We
Mm-hmm.
we, we love the team, we love the players, all that stuff. But there's a level of intensity that comes when you know you have something. When before he got there, we were not contending. Like, we're not the Dallas Cowboys. We're not going to sit here and say, "Oh, we're winning it." That's not
You
us.
8-8.
Yeah, that ain't us. We're not going to be an average team and be like, "Oh yeah, well, it's our time." No,
Just because you
we're going
wearing
to be
white and
real.
blue. You got me
Yeah,
against some Cowboy fans, man.
yeah.
Come on.
We're going to be real. We're going to be real about it, and we're going to tell you what it is. But we will support that team no matter what. When Isaiah Thomas came to Boston, there was this level of intensity, like I said, that hadn't been there since KG left. But there was this, the intensity was on the court, but it was also with the fans. Like, it was like you had an expectation. That's a better word. There was an expectation that we had with this team when everyone else was doubting it.
Mm,
Right? And that allowed us to get all the way, into the Eastern Conference Finals. And it's just, to me, that standard being set at that point, it's like, okay, yeah, nah. For the new guys that are coming in, this is where we are.
and I
So
think I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Derek. I
yeah,
just think that I feel what you're saying because now it makes sense, right? Like that year was like, oh, we have a 20-point per game score and a bunch of
yeah,
gritty role players.
yeah,
That's actually a doable formula. So then
yeah,
even when he gets traded, the way he gets traded, it turns into Kyrie,
yeah,
Jason Tatum,
yeah,
Jaylen Brown, role
yeah,
players. Al Horford's in the mix. Y'all still making the Eastern Conference Finals. Terry Rozier blows up as a role player, and it
yeah.
just continues for the next few years. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, and that's been for the last 11 years, bro. Like, it's just, you cannot you can't replace that, and you can't like just that you can't just automatically like manufacture that. That has to be something that's within you, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
brought that attention to detail to the Celtics that is like, okay, nah, this is where we are. You know, when they shipped off Paul Pierce and Garnett, um, you knew the team wasn't going to be anything. And then Rondo was
Yeah, it
gone,
was
and
just
then
Rondo. Yeah.
yeah, Rondo was that dog too. But when he was gone, I think it was traded. Doc Rivers was traded as well. Like it's like when
Oh yeah.
the only coach to be traded, right? Like that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was amazing. But when all that when that happens, it you build up to a point where you're just like, okay, our only expectation is that we are rebuilding and we're trying to get specific players to help us. And that led into, actually Avery Bradley led the charge after that iteration was gone. So it was like
Mm.
Avery Bradley was the first building block, but then they went and drafted Marcus Smart. And then they drafted James Young, who nobody remembers, but we
Oh
had
man.
expectations from him.
Yeah. Yeah. He was supposed to be that dude.
He
He
was
was supposed to
supposed to
be
be.
that
I
dude.
don't know what happened to him. I really don't know what happened, but it's like it's those little things that come up where you're looking at it and you're figuring out the specific type of player that you want to lead the charge to that rebuild. Like Bradley wasn't the guy to lead the charge because he got hurt a lot, but
Yeah.
you go out and get Isaiah Thomas. It's like, okay, like we see what we got with these three guards right here. What else can we add? And then they add Jay Crowder to the mix, who nobody really knew. He was with the Dallas Mavericks, but nobody was paying attention to him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he came
Yeah.
in, and it was just
Mm-hmm.
like this elevated intensity of attention to detail on defense. Like it's just for
Yeah.
me, Isaiah Thomas is a Celtics legend, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
Stand on it. Stand on it. Yeah.
When you average 24 points, I think 7 assists, 2 rebounds in your time with that team, bro. Especially
Yeah.
back then,
I
like
was about to
that's
say in a weird stage in the Celtics lore, but also like to your point, the league was different back then. It was
yeah,
different back then.
yeah,
I
yeah,
and you mentioned Derrick a lot. The word I'm hearing a lot is impact. Now
yes.
is that because I have plenty of thoughts of what you just said. But is that the thing that you would say is what stood out about Isaiah Thomas? Because I think it's interesting that you're mentioning a lot of who he is as a person, and I think that's why a lot of the fans gravitated towards him
Mm-hmm.
because he knew like I was just having this conversation the other day like Isaiah Thomas knew he was 5'9", like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and to go out there and do what he did.
yeah,
Like, he knows this. So to
yeah.
play with that chip on his shoulder. So like, do you think that's what stood out, or would you say there's a specific part of his game that stood out to you as well?
I, so of course you're gonna look at his shooting. Like his range was for a player that's 5'9" to
Yeah.
have that type of range. That's extremely impressive. And also not just the range, but being able, this is the part of his game that I feel is the most underrated part, is playing in the post.
Hmm.
He was crazy. Is what led to his injury though, which I always like got nervous about him going into the post because the way he fell, he would fall down and he would land on his hip, and that's what ultimately
Oh.
led to the deterioration of that whole thing, um, which sucks. That really sucks. But
Mm-hmm.
his ability to get into the post at 5'9", still score, um, and have his way with anybody. It didn't matter who was defending him.
Oh yeah.
He was cooking.
Yeah.
He was cooking. You had to be there to see that.
Yeah. Right.
You
Right.
like that was something that was just beautiful to watch. Now the type of person that he is, and his character, yeah, that to me was that leads to charge for sure. But when you see someone at that stature go in and play amongst giants and have his way and
Yeah.
actually
Every trip down.
perform.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no way you can sit here and tell me that he's not a Celtics legend.
So what stands out to me, Derrick, is that like when I go back and watch Celtics IT in particular, especially the year he averaged 29,
Yeah.
incredibly sharp. There's
Yes.
usually a point when scorers reach the pinnacle of their career where they are sharp. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of people hear what I'm saying and they're going to say, "Oh yeah, Des, you're talking about their peak." Yes,
Yeah.
their peak, but
Yeah.
when you really watch the game,
Mm-hmm.
how sharp every movement is, every
Yeah.
shot, especially to your point, IT, mind you, a lot of that was off the dribble as well. A lot of
Yeah.
his threes weren't always catch and shoot. He's coming off a
Exactly.
pick and he's rising, he's elevating because of his size. He has to elevate higher. He had a high
Mm-hmm.
release point. He's shooting
Yeah.
over the defender coming over top. Like he was incredibly sharp,
Yeah.
incredibly sharp. Every dribble penetration move, in and outs, change of pace, change of direction, the ability to slither in, get a layup. I
Mm-hmm.
loved seeing all of that. And to your point, I think it was on a greater scale with those Celtics teams. And I think, well, I'll get into it eventually in the conversation. But you mentioned that you feel like he's a legend. Some may disagree, but you also introed it saying how you felt like he was underrated and how he's beloved among Celtics fans. So
Mm.
like just kind of with all that in mind, like do you feel like he's underrated in just the grand scheme of NBA basketball as well, or
Yeah.
is it just Celtics area? How do you see that?
Grand scheme of basketball. Because if you see like what he's even able to do right now, to be honest with you, the only reason why he's not on a team right now is because of his height. That's
Yeah,
literally the only reason why.
yeah,
It's his height, but then also defense. Right now, we're in the era where you prefer your players to be able to switch 1 through 4,
mm-hmm.
1 through 3 max. I mean, like at the minimum, but 1 through 4 is kind of like what you want. 1 through 5 is like beautiful.
Yeah. That's
Um,
dream case.
yeah, that's your dream. and he can't do that. He can't. So you have to have him on a team. That's why having Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder, having those guys surround him was absolutely perfect. And then bringing in Al Horford, um, all 4 of those guys, amazing defenders, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
IT can hide behind that, where it's like, okay, yeah, you might have a hole in defense right here, but it's not a big hole because you got these guys that are going to slide over. Like,
yeah,
it was just, to me, it was poetry in motion. And I think that's one of the things that when you watch, just as a basketball fan, if you can't appreciate what he did, to me, it's one of those things where you just like the name.
mm,
You just like the guy, that the specific guy that you're talking about. You don't like the game. You're not a fan of the game. You're a fan of a person. And that those are 2 different things to me. You can't sit here and talk to me about specific players and then you say, oh, I'm not. Nah. When I bring someone up, it's like, I don't really know, but I don't think that's the case. Like, for example, we're in this era now where people like to um, downplay Kobe's impact or
mm,
his ranking, and it's just like, as a basketball fan, how do you do that? Like,
yeah.
if you're an actual student of the game, how do you do that?
Even if you hated the man, like you
I
have to
hated
acknowledge
him.
that.
I hated Kobe Bryant, bro, and I loved him at the same time.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was like you can't sit here and talk to me about basketball and then it's like, nah, these certain guys you could say, maybe they weren't that great. That's fine. But to downplay greatness, to me, is one of the hallmarks of, how should I put this? Someone who is basketball illiterate. When you're downplaying it like that, it's like someone that's just not, that can't fully grasp what they're watching, or they don't care to. And that's fine. If you don't care to you just want to sit in on specific players and specific teams, cool. That's fine. I can sit here and watch Summer League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love the game.
Yeah.
So, I have my favorites, of course, but I love the game.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas, to me, especially if you watch what he's done in the G League,
He tears it up the minute he gets called up. It's a 40
every
ball every
single
time. And to your point, there are the people out there who see that and they're like, well, he's 5'8", he's 35 years old, and he did it on 33 shots. I'm like, that was his first. That's straight off playing with his kids in the backyard. Like when he gets the reps, like he's dropping 40 fresh off of his first call up. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Yeah. So I think he's definitely unappreciated amongst basketball fans in general, because Isaiah Thomas, to me, is one of those guys that, to me, if I had anything to do with it, I'd put him in the Hall of Fame just based off of impact. Just based off impact. Like, he had a short stint of time where he was the guy, where he was like, you're looking at him actually being in MVP conversations. Do you know how difficult that is?
At 5'9", yeah.
At 5'9"?
It's hard in general. It's hard in general. It's situational and everything.
Yes.
But to do it at 5'9", yeah,
that's crazy. Especially when you're not a good defender.
Yeah. And the league was changing about that too. That was right. That year was right. I always say 2016-17 was the start of a lot of what we're seeing today.
Yes.
And so that doesn't surprise me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we typically do where you had to be there is, I like to go down their career and on like a year by year kind of thing, and kind of summarize where they were, the stops they had, and the situations. Because you made a good point earlier. So his first 3 years are with Sacramento, and again, we didn't even mention yet just the simple fact that he's the last pick in the draft, in the 2011 draft. And this is a draft with Kyrie, Kawhi's in this draft class. Like, there's some hoopers here, but 60th is this 5'9" dude who I think at that time, now me personally, I'm similar to you. I picked up on IT in Sacramento, but you look back and you see what he was doing at Washington. He hits the game winner in one of the tournament games. Like, so it's like, okay, this dude can hoop. And so he averages 11-4 out the gate in his rookie season. And he pretty much, I think he starts over half the games. So he's showing promise. Year 2, he's at 14-4. So he's showing what he can do. He's starting more. But again, the Sacramento Kings aren't in the greatest spot. Now, what really sticks out is that third year. So again, it's always dope when players really show something that within those first 3 years. And at 5'9", in his third year, he's averaging 20 points and 6 assists. And I believe, yes. So he started not all the games, but a majority of the games. Now you're like, okay, like this dude, like 20 points is at his size is pretty noticeable. But then he gets traded to Phoenix. And the funniest thing about that Phoenix team, Derrick, I don't know if you remember, but that was the year where we were all looking at them crazy, because it's like, you're bringing in Dragic, you're bringing in IT, you have I can't remember if it was either of or both Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight. I don't think Brandon Knight just yet, but I think even Tyler Ulis. So you had like 4 point guards on that team. So his numbers dipped back down to 16-4, and he was a full-time 6-man on that team. It was strange. It was strange. And I think he knew that. I think Boston kind of knew that. Like, hey, like, okay, anytime you see a team with that many point guards handling the ball at the same time, somebody's getting shipped. And the Celtics did the best thing that they could have done at that time, and they traded for that dude. And to your point, instantly, there's a connection. His points jump up to 19, and he's averaging 5 assists with the Celtics. So he comes from 15-3 with the Suns to 19-5 with the Celtics. Now, again, you mentioned this team earlier, and that's what I love. Some of my most favorite teams of those eras are the teams with grit. Like you said,
Yeah.
not a lot of household names. And
Yeah.
that in turn makes you band together as brothers and say, like, hey, like, let's build something. And I think each of those guys were in that stage in their careers. You
Yeah.
know, Marcus Smart, like the Celtics hadn't been in the lottery in quite some time. So
Yeah.
he's new to the fold. IT's new to the fold. Avery Bradley's trying to get in this transition where he's learning from the big four, but now they're all gone.
Yeah.
Right? Amir
Yeah.
Johnson has bounced around the league. He's a tough interior presence. Like you said, they eventually get Jay Crowder. A name we didn't mention, Evan Turner. Evan Turner's
Evan Turner.
finding his
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
as a point forward. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And he
man,
was
it's
crazy too.
yeah. I liked him in Boston, man.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
did. I thought it was a great bounce back from Philly for him. But
It
yeah, so
was.
suddenly you have all these pieces. Again, like you said, Kelly Olynyk, you know, being the college star that he was, and it's like you look around the locker room and it's like, okay, like we nice, but like we just got to get the people to see it. And
Yeah.
boy, did they do that.
Yeah.
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 What do you remember about some of those? Are there any specific memories of those teams that you have, Derek?
Yeah. Man, the battles with Washington. God, I forgot what year that was. We battled with Washington in the playoffs,
I think that was 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that one, I believe Cleveland was that same year, if I'm not mistaken. But
I
there was,
think yeah, because I think that was the same one where John Wall was like, "Had we beat Boston, like we would have
yes,
faced. I think we could beat Cleveland." Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. But that specific time against Washington, believe I forgot what the score was or what the where they were in the series, but I think it was a closeout game.
Uh-huh.
And IT was like, man, he basically I ain't gonna say specifically what he said because you know he used profanity, but he was like, we got them against the ropes. Don't let up. Like basically, like let's go, let's kill him. Let's kill him.
He did that against my Bulls. I remember that.
The Bulls, yes. Oh my God! But when I heard the audio from that, I was sitting. That message gave me shivers. But I was. Ooh, I got so excited. I knew we were winning a championship that year. You couldn't tell me anything. I like it was just
That's a bold statement.
the fight. Oh man, look, I think that was the same year. I think that was the same year we went against Cleveland. The only reason why we didn't win that series, we didn't have the experience.
And it'd be like that sometimes. It sucks. It sucks.
That's all it was. That's all it was. Because if we had the experience, to me, it doesn't even matter who was on that Cleveland team. We were going to beat them. Like we had the ability to do it.
Let's unpack that. Because
Yeah.
I again, people going to try to think back and rebuttal. So
Yeah.
my thing is, okay, so do you remember anything about those regular season matchups? What gave you the confidence that that Celtics team could be the team with LeBron, K-Love, Kyrie?
So it to me was defense.
Right.
Everything that I say is predicated upon defense. Right.
I respect it. I'm a big defense guy.
Yeah.
I respect it.
So we had Al Horford there at that point. And it was like the way he was able to switch positions, and then Bradley comes in and does his thing, and Crowder, like to me, it was the only difference was the experience and Bradley's health was pretty much the only reason why we didn't. I don't remember the regular season matchups, but I can tell you the expectation that was there during that time was like this team, like it's not like finals or bust. It's not. That's not what you think about with that team. But it was like this team can get there. To me, it was like the least. I thought the lowest round they were going to get bounced out was the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll put it to you like that. That to me was the floor for that team. They were just different, and Brad Stevens, the way he was able to draw up X's and O's, it was It
he did
was
a great job with that
he
team.
did a phenomenal job, especially coming in like being so young. I think he came from Indiana, and being
Yeah,
that
from
young of a
Butler,
coach.
right? He went straight from
Yeah,
Butler.
Butler, yes,
Yeah.
yes, but no one knowing who he is really, like on a national level, outside of the college game. When he came to the Celtics, everybody was like, me included. I was like, who is this guy? I'm
Really?
intrigued.
I
I'm
was
intrigued.
hyped. I remember
Well,
being hyped for y'all.
so that's the thing. I don't follow the college game like that. Like
That's fair.
to be able to tell you who's coaching and all that. Like I don't follow it that much, or at least back then I didn't. Now I can tell. I have a loose understanding of certain coaches and players, but back then I was in the position of, okay, let's see what happens. Like we
Wow,
had
that's
nothing to
interesting.
lose. We honestly had nothing to lose. We already lost the big three, a big four. What, like, you trade away your coach? What's the worst that can happen at this point? Cool.
That's a good point because we talk about the players, and now you have this new head coach as well who
Yes,
has got to prove himself as well. So
he's got to
again,
prove himself.
a
Yeah,
culture
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's to me, it's one of those things where you just look at it and like, all right, we don't have that big of an expectation going in, but as the season was going, it was like, hold on, these guys could actually do something. You didn't want to press into it too heavy, but and then I had like when we drafted Jaylen Brown, it was a bit of the same thing. What can we do? What can we do? And then everybody's like, trade Jaylen Brown. I'm like, no, you trade him for Kawhi. No, I saw it back then. He was
even at that time. Even at
yes,
that time.
he was, bro. I
Wow.
swear on everything. I was the only person that I knew of saying don't trade Jaylen Brown. Because they wanted us to trade him for Butler, they wanted us to trade him for Kawhi, and to me, I'm not trading a young guy for an old guy or older guy, but he's doing the exact same thing those guys do on a significantly lesser contract. Why? To me, it never made sense. It just never made sense to me. So I saw the potential back then. I can't explain what that looked like in the moment, but you saw it. He was there. Like, this team now is Isaiah Thomas's thumbprint. Like, his thumbprint is on this team.
That's
and people might say differently. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being in the minority with this one. Mm-hmm. You will not shake me on this. Isaiah Thomas, to me, is a Celtics legend. If I had it my way, that man would be in the Hall of Fame for just what he did in Boston for those 3 years. That man is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I wish he was still in the league because I believe he still has what it takes. But I want to see him get into coaching because his attention to detail is
you want to see him coach on the NBA level.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, eventually, not right now. Eventually, right. Like I want to see what he can do, like with the kids, and if he builds up and stuff like that. Maybe going to the college game or whatnot. Maybe getting onto a coaching staff in the NBA, something like that. But I want to see him. I want to see him be able to develop players because
he's got plenty of wisdom to dish out. You can see it.
Yes,
you can see it.
Yes. I feel like his impact from a coaching perspective would be that of what Sam Cassell's is.
Ooh, I like that. I like that though. He would definitely have that respect. I could see it. I can see it. Now, Derrick, you mentioned earlier too of his impact on that team. So for our listener here, mind you, 2013-14, in case anybody forgot, the Boston Celtics went 25-57. The year they got IT, that went to 40-42. And again,
mind
40
you, they
and
traded
42
for him mid-season. That was a mid-season trade too. Yeah.
Yes. And they still managed to make the playoffs. That was the year they got swept by Cleveland in the first round. But again, noticeable improvement. And then the following year, 2015-16, 48-34, first All-Star appearance for IT. Celtics, they once again lose in the first round to the Atlanta Hawks in 6 games. And then, of course, when the year he finished fifth in MVP, 53-29, and like you said, lost in 5 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So again, he always Allen Iverson was one of his favorite players. I know that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he had a similar effect. I understand what you're saying, like, and I agree wholeheartedly. He had that effect. He fell in love with being a Celtic. The fans embraced him. He put that on his back with the chip that he already had on his shoulder,
hmm,
and carried this team to a 50-win season at 5-9.
yeah,
We have not seen that. We had
yes,
not seen that before. Have we seen small guards do their thing? Absolutely. But
hmm,
at 5-9, it's and I know we keep saying it. It sounds like a broken record, but it's just impressive. It's incredibly impressive,
yeah,
and I think so. So Derek, we have to, of course, we have to go over the glory days, but we also have to kind of go into when it all went downhill. Now, you kind
yeah,
of alluded to it earlier. Unfortunately, IT's tenure as a Celtic did not last that long. What do you kind of remember about that transition? Because you mentioned some of the different phases the Celtics went through. How
yeah.
was that? And I want you to focus on this. How was it knowing that you got somebody like Kyrie Irving,
Hmm.
but the way they did IT, especially after the way he played in the playoffs, dealing with the passing of his sister, all of those things,
Yeah,
he put his hip on the line to do great things, and then they ship him the very next season.
yeah,
Can you get into all that?
yeah, yeah. So I'll be honest with you. When the trade happened, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was watching ESPN when it broke,
Mm,
and my reaction was like I was confused, because not confused like why they move on from him. I was confused from about everything. Like moving on from him when we just got Gordon Hayward. Mind you, Gordon Hayward was coming to Boston to basically be that number 2 option.
he was. Yep. Yep.
And that was with Al Horford there, right? So it was like when we got Gordon Hayward, there was a video. I don't know if you remember this. There was a video of IT when he got the news that we got Hayward. He started dancing and everything like that because he was like,
Mm,
"This
I
is
don't
it.
remember that.
We about to get a championship." He was at home. He was hyped. We about to get a championship.
And real quick, they don't know how cold Gordon Hayward was at
Gordon
that
Hayward
time.
at
He had
his
also just been an all-star. Gordon
yeah
Hayward was a dog,
at his prime.
dog.
That man, there was nothing that could prevent him from being a great number 2 option, like on that team. Now in
Mm-hmm.
Utah, he was a number 1 option. He was killing it, right?
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where you could see you're not going to win with him at the core. At least not in Utah. Utah wasn't as developed as it is right now, but you could see that potential in his game right there. So it was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you pair him with IT, and you got Jay Crowder, and
You still kept the
you
core
got
pieces.
Jalen Brown. It's like,
Yep.
what the hell? Like, what is going on here? Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, that was the same season, same summer they drafted Tatum.
It was. It was.
So now it's like, right at that point they were saying they were looking at Markelle Fultz. So you're kind of like looking at Fultz as like, oh, maybe he come off the bench, something like that, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then they made the trade, and one hand, I'm honestly hurt and betrayed, because that, full disclosure, I even said I was going to name my son Isaiah Thomas. This is how
Wow.
much respect I have for that guy.
Which is interesting because that's how he was named, right?
Yes. Yeah.
His father named him after OG. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the thing I was looking at. I'm like, oh man, this is my guy right here. So they trade for Kyrie, and you feel pain, but then you also feel excitement at the same time, like, because he just won a championship with Cleveland. Ooh, Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford,
Jason Tatum.
They didn't even get Tatum at that point yet.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
it was like when they drafted Tatum, I'm thinking, oh my God, all the possibilities endless, right? It hurt, but I understood the reason why.
Okay.
Mind you, the part that a lot of people don't think about either is IT was a part of the reason as to why Durant was almost about to come to Boston. It was he wanted to play with Horford, and he also saw IT there. So you're looking at to me a magnet, right? Like you said, all-star. You're seeing what they're doing in the conference finals. It's just there were so many elements to it that you got hurt. Like I was emotionally. Let me tell you something. You know how much this hurt me? This hurt me just as much as seeing Paul Pierce and KG get traded away. Like it was that level for me.
Yeah.
For me. However, the only reason why I would say it was a little bit more than Paul Pierce and KG in terms of the pain is because those guys were at the end. Mm-hmm. You could already see they weren't they were not going to be that high end level anymore at that point.
And they got y'all one. Unfortunately, it was only one, but they got y'all one. Yeah.
Should have been two. Should have been two. If Perkins doesn't go down, it's two. But that was the pain that was felt when he got traded away. Now, the reason why it got a little bit eased is because you're looking at it like he got traded to Cleveland. Remember, this is a team that had LeBron, Shumpert, D Wade.
They ended up getting D Wade, D Rose.
Like they had ballers.
They were supposed to be the team. They were supposed to be
that team. Yeah. So that's where, to me, it was like I don't look at the trade as a betrayal to IT in the sense that they sent him to a championship contender. They sent him to the number one seed. You see what I'm saying? They sent him to the team that was going to go all the way. Should have gone all the way. But that's what helped it a little bit. At the same time, I didn't want to see Isaiah Thomas in any other jersey. I only wanted to see him in the Celtics jersey. That was it.
So was there any moment where, because I feel like most of the consensus back then was like, oh no, they did IT dirty, like it's a dirty business. How dare you, Danny Ainge? Like, was there some of that as well, or you were just thinking big picture?
No, mainly because I understood the health aspect of it, and I was amazed that we were able to get Kyrie. Because if you think about it, let's look at it like this way, okay? In today's game, if you're trading for who's an often injured player, Embiid. Oh yeah,
John Morant.
Yeah. That's okay. That's enough. Let's use that example. If you're Philly, you trade Embiid for John Morant. Do you not look at Memphis as a team that got in that trade? Because Embiid is, at least for the last 2 years, he's been out a ton of games. You know what I'm saying?
Ja has missed his fair share too.
He's missed his fair share, but it's not always because of injury. You know, like
you're right. He had his stuff. Yeah.
He had his stuff.
yeah.
You know, you can say the same thing for Zion Williamson, right? Like it's like if you trade someone that's always injured, because if you think about it, Isaiah Thomas was gone that last year. He was gone a lot, and the idea that they were able to get him to Cleveland and get Kyrie Irving in return is ridiculous.
You mean the season he was like on the Cavs?
Yeah, he was injured a lot that season. Yeah.
Okay.
Because going into that off season, he was hurt.
Yeah, but he played through the hip. Yeah.
Yeah, he played through the hip in the playoffs, and you were like, ooh, you could see it. It wasn't like something that was just you could hide. You could see that in the playoffs. Like oh, when it's time to shut the season down, he's gonna be out for a little bit. The idea that you were able to trade him away and get Kyrie Irving is mind blowing, and that trade in and of itself to me catapulted the next iteration of the Celtics, because now you're looking at it where it's Kyrie and Gordon Hayward as the leaders of the team going in. Game one, Hayward gets season-ending injury, which then catapults JB and JT into a position of, oh, we gotta become those guys. You look at it and like, okay, now I got time to build up.
It's time for them draft picks to show why we drafted them.
To show why we drafted you. Yeah. And for JT to do what he did in the playoffs and that year, it was you could see it. So yeah, to me, that's why I say that IT's thumbprint is on this team as well, because the grit, the attention to detail on defense, and also trading him away to go get Kyrie led to what we have right now, for sure. So I would give him a championship ring. That he deserves it. He deserves it. I didn't feel bad in the sense that he got done wrong with that. I do feel in a sense that he got done wrong in a way that he just put his body on the line, lost his sister. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, lost his tooth, had to go get dental reconstruction. Like, it's a lot that he went through for that franchise, that I think that's the reason why people say he got done dirty.
Yeah.
And in that sense, yes, I get it. At the same time, I can't argue against it because it's a business.
Yeah, it's another Danny Ainge gambit move.
It's another that's what Danny Ainge does. And did you watch Celtic City on HBO?
I didn't catch that one.
Okay. They didn't talk about Isaiah Thomas like that. I'm not even sure if they.
I heard about that part.
I don't even think they. Yeah, I don't even think they actually even included his name in the series, which was wild to me. But in that series, Danny Ainge speaks about how Red Auerbach kept Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish past the time that he should have, because he was loyal to those guys, right? And he loved them. They were lifelong Celtics at that point. Sure, get it. But when you have the opportunity to strike and trade for someone that can put you in a position where you can reset the timeline, so to speak, to compete for more championships, he was looking at it like, why the hell do we not make this move? Why do we not trade Larry Bird for a potential championship? Why would you hold on to the loyalty aspect of things and not pay attention to the fact that we're in the here and now? We can compete. We have players here that we can build with if we go get someone that's younger that can lead. Mm-hmm. And because that was his mindset back then, that was his mindset going in as a GM, period. That he was not going to keep someone longer than he should based on loyalty.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
And yes, it sucks. But that's exactly why you saw Paul Pierce and KG get traded. Now, he did talk to them and ask them where they want to go. But it's like, you're going. You're not staying here.
Yeah.
You ain't got to go home.
You make a good point.
You got to get out of here.
Yeah, he sent them to teams that were either their preference or that was another contending team. So I see what you're saying in the sense that he did the best that he could with the cards that he was dealt. Like, I would hate to trade you, but it is a business. But I'm not gonna do you dirty and send you to, Cancun. Yes. You can go to Cleveland. So I get that. I just wanted to clear that up a little bit, just because I knew, people might watch this and then they're going to be, it'll take the conversation in a whole different direction.
For sure.
Than the intention. But
yes.
So when we think about, again, it's like the unfortunate rise and fall of IT's career that he was one of those stars that had a short prime. You know, you hate that he was never really the same after the injury. And again, to what we were saying earlier, he showed plenty
Yes.
of flashes, but didn't always get his just due. And I was just having this conversation, and I was like, I miss the NBA when if you could play, you were out there.
Yeah.
I hate this whole, oh, he's going to
Yeah.
get picked on defense, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And it's like to what I said earlier, you don't think these guys know that? Like even Yuki with the Bulls Summer League right now, like
Mm-hmm.
you think he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know he's 5'8"?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why he's again what I said about IT. He's sharp as heck.
Yeah.
If anybody that can play the game of basketball, no matter the size, should have a spot on an NBA roster if they can
Yes.
if they're able to. That
Yeah.
I miss that part of the NBA. So it was unfortunate that you saw that with how the league was going, that IT, it was just getting clear and clear. It's like he can hoop, but these teams aren't just they not messing with him because the game is changing. But with that said, and even then, I know that this might be a tough one to answer, Derek. But with that in mind, is there a player in the game today that reminds you of anything close to IT? And whether and size aside, right? Is there anybody in the game today that reminds you of Isaiah Thomas?
Oh, just from a scoring perspective, let me see. I would. That's a good question.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think
Um,
too. It's you because you there are still some small guards out there, but again, it's
mhm,
not like what it used to be.
not at all. Small,
Um,
small today is like maybe 6 foot, even 6'2".
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, man, who plays like IT now?
Like I'm trying to think of somebody who's sharp, somebody who's on an up and coming team. Who you got?
Peyton Pritchard.
I like it. I like it. I could see that. I could see
Peyton
that.
Pritchard, because again, he is small. He's on a smaller end,
Mm-hmm.
and he still has that ability to get to his spot no matter who's guarding him. And it's almost like it's almost like it's unguardable at times, especially when you're talking about like the half court shots. He's shooting at a high clip. Coming into the NBA when he was first drafted, he was not that really. He wasn't that great from long distance. But I think it was also because of time. He didn't have a lot of play time, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the thing that people don't factor into consideration when they're talking about someone's averages. They just look at the box score, but they don't look at the play time, especially when they're younger. If you don't
Yeah.
have a lot of play time, when you get out there on the court, you're not going to be,
It's hard to get a rhythm.
bro,
It's
you're
hard
not
to
going to be
get
in
a
rhythm at all.
Yeah. Because he didn't really get his opportunity till Kemba got hurt. And
Yeah.
that's when finally
Yeah.
people were like, oh, this dude's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he's the only one I could think of off top.
I'll say this. I was going to, especially, I think it might show more this year because of the defense that they have around him. I
Yeah.
was going to say Trae Young. Trae Young has a little bit of
Oh, yeah,
IT,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to
Man.
think of guys, other guys around the league too. But yeah, I would venture to say Trae Young. Trae Young. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Cold.
think I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm with
And
you on that one.
now, Derek, we'll do a fun thing here. You have the opportunity to put Isaiah Thomas in the modern NBA with
Mm.
4 current players that would realistically fit his style of play. Who
Mm-hmm.
would those 4 teammates be? So you could pick from any team.
Okay. I'm going Marcus Smart. He's with the Lakers right now, which, well, he's about to sign with the Lakers.
Yeah.
That hurts. I hate that.
I call it the Johnny Damon effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Line.
I put Marcus Smart at the 2.
Okay.
I put Jaylen Brown at the 3.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
have a
put
feeling
Tatum
I
at
know
the
where this is
4.
going.
No. I'm about to surprise you. Tatum at the 4.
Okay.
Jokic at the 5.
Ooh.
Now you tell me that starting 5 wouldn't win a championship.
That's a 60-win team for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Because you have your ability to defend with all four, right? But then you also have your shooting with
you could five out. You could five
5
out.
hour shooting. The spacing on that would be crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
that would give any coach a headache.
How do you see that? How do you see that with Jokic though? With the off ball movement. You know, it is cold. He need that rock.
Yeah.
JT
Yeah.
I think need that rock.
Yeah. Well, JT over the last 2 years has played significantly better without the ball.
Okay.
And his ability to, this is the reason why I hate why people got on him for not playing specifically well in at least in the finals. Let's just, that's fine. But I mean, he actually averaged what SGA did, and that's where I'm like, how is that not well if this man got a Finals MVP for doing the exact same thing? That's a whole other topic. But when he plays without the ball, you see how he is on the defensive side. You see how he is with his ability to play make. You see how he is when he's in the post. Like he's able to stretch the floor out. His presence, even if he's not scoring at a high clip in a specific game, his presence alone is going to demand attention.
Yeah. That's true. And I'm thinking of it right now. I would venture to say, and I don't know why I'm prefacing this like it sounds crazy, but I would venture to say that Jokic and IT at his peak.
Yeah.
You think Jamal Murray and Jokic is cold with the
Bro,
DHOs? You imagine IT having Jokic? Woo!
that pick and
I
roll
like
would
it.
be stupid.
Yeah, I like it.
That
I'm
pick and
trying to
roll would be
think,
crazy.
and you made me, what we just talked about made me think of this. So I would probably go IT. I would go Dyson Daniels for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Give me, and I'm trying to think of, I need to go back and look at everybody who I've used already to this point. I do this every time. I want to say Anthony Edwards, but I'm trying to think of somebody just in case I used him in the past.
Okay.
Somebody, another scorer on the wing. Somebody that could shoot the three.
Banchero.
I would put Banchero at my 4. I could
Okay.
put Paolo at my 4. I want somebody at my 3 and to see, okay. Okay. He didn't play a lot last year. But I'll go Herb Jones.
Man, I think people sleep on Herb Jones,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I
That
hate
brother
that he
is
got hurt.
cold. Yeah.
Because he was doing his thing. He was doing his
Yeah.
thing. But also I go IT, Dyson Daniels, Herb Jones, Paolo, and then my 5, I go more traditional too. I can't even lie. I tend to go more traditional. Let me see. Dang, I wonder if he don't stretch the floor, but if I haven't used him already, I'll go Zubac. Zubac's one of my favorite bigs in the
Man,
league.
man.
Yeah.
He's another underrated player. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he don't stretch the floor, but if you put him out there with players that will force you to stretch,
oh yeah, he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine.
you'll be fine.
Okay. I like those teams though. I like how you think you had me with the Celtics in the beginning, but it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting putting Jokic out there, and that's a dynamic that IT didn't have. So that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Well, he had DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh, true. He wasn't shooting threes back then.
He wasn't shooting threes back then. Yeah. So
you right though. You right.
But that presence,
that
presence in the post. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Derrick, you have to pick, because this is hip to the games. You have to pick one hip hop song as the soundtrack to IT's, whether you want to do his style of play or his career, the theme of his career. What song would that be and why?
Ooh, hold on. I want to make sure I get this song right.
Okay, I got one that came to mind instantly. I want to hear yours first, though.
Hustle and Motivate, Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, you gotta go Nip with IT. You gotta go Nip with IT. See, and I didn't even think of that. I know Nip is Nip's his guy, man. Dang, that's a great one. That's a great one. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it personifies it describes his play style in terms of his attention to detail, hustle and motivate.
Mm-hmm.
He was also always hustling on the court, and he was always
Uh-huh.
motivating his teammates. That
Well
was
said.
that was his theme. That was his identity of what he wanted to do, and absolutely phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great pick. That's a great pick. Now, I immediately thought of Jadakiss, All for the Love. And
Ooh, ooh,
I
that's
was
a
like,
good one.
yeah, I was like, dang, I was like, that's actually that fits. Like I see it, and again, I made the comparison earlier, but the same way you kind of that can kind of be synonymous with Allen Iverson, I see that same exact thing with Isaiah. He put
Yeah,
his everything on the floor on a night in, night out basis. Like you said, say what you want about the defense, but he was one of those guys. He embodied everything the Boston Celtics were about. He could have easily went into that situation upset that he was on another team in his first few years in the league. It was his third team in the first few years. He could have
yep,
easily been like, man, I can't find my place. But he took every situation and he balled out, and the Celtics was the one that really got him over the top. So I think
yep,
again, the love for the game you gotta have, and just to go through what he's went through, and still have his joy for the game, still have this passion for the game, even for this to this day, trying to get back. I think it's no question a song as passionate as that, and Jada, I love Jada Kiss, so yeah,
yeah.
I had to go with that one for mine.
That's a
Those are some
nice one.
two good songs for the IT mix. Yeah.
I like that. I
All
like
right.
that.
Now, lastly, last few questions, Derek. I want to let you have the floor to share any final statements on Isaiah. But as a lead, I will ask you, what is one thing that you wish the newer generation knew or understood about this player?
Ooh, ooh, I like that. Um, his willingness to grind. I
I
feel
like
like
that.
there are a lot of players that want the success, that want the fame and notoriety, but don't care about the grind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about when you see someone who's been counted out multiple times and by metrics should not be there,
Right.
by standards of other people believe he's never going to make it. When you
Mm-hmm.
have that against you, and like you said earlier, the last pick in the draft, playing on a team where it was a crowded, there was a ton of point guards
Yeah.
on your team, and you still find a way to
Separate.
shine in a crowded room.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. You're in a crowd, like that's like going to a concert, sitting in the nosebleeds where you're dapping Jesus, and the performer is like, "Hey, Desmond, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that's
Yeah.
that's absolutely crazy to think about? That doesn't make sense for him. The smallest guy on the team to have the brightest star is
Mm,
crazy.
talk that talk.
It's crazy. And I think that's the thing that even outside of just basketball, is like you should be able to do what it takes to get to the destination you're trying to go to, right?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't matter what it calls for. The journey is the journey, right? It's like if I have to sacrifice sleep, and if I had to sacrifice money, or if I had to sacrifice notoriety or whatever to be able to get to where I'm trying to go, to be the ultimate success, I'm going to do that. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, that takes a lot, and that's a lot of lip service, because people will say they are willing to do that, but
Until it's
when you
time to
have to
do it.
live it,
Yeah. Till it's time to do it.
when it's time to do it, you actually see not only what you're made of, but you're able to see the type of people that you're surrounding yourself with, right? And that's the type of person in and of itself that anybody should be willing to follow. That's a leader. There are a lot of players that look at it and just want the notoriety or whatever, but they're not willing to grind to get to the point where it's like others are looking at you to lead. Mm-hmm. Like, you can say you're a leader, but are people willing to follow you? How are you a leader if no one's following? You're just walking by yourself.
The fruit show. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
it showed with that Celtics team.
It showed. Yeah. That man was willing to not only walk the walk, but he was willing to put his body on the line. He literally put his body on the line.
Yeah. Straight up.
Playing with the Celtics the way he did cost him his career, bro.
Yeah.
And he was willing to do that and did it. His sister died in a car accident, and he still went out there and played lights out.
Yeah, what was it, the 57-point game? We didn't even talk about that. Yeah,
bro, it's ridiculous. 50
balls. Yeah.
If you saw him pre-game, that man was a wreck.
Understandably so.
A wreck.
I still see that image of Avery Bradley with him on the bench. Yeah.
I got chills now thinking of that. Like, how are you able to perform under that type of... Bro, that... I ain't gonna lie. And y'all say what y'all want to say. That's Kobe Bryant level of dedication. That's Michael Jordan-esque. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's something that people don't have. Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of players don't have, because a lot of players don't even want to play as many games as possible. They want to sit as much as possible. They want, like, play as many games to get the recognition for the awards, but then sit as much as possible. Mm-hmm. You can't build up endurance and that tough exterior. You can't build that sitting down, bro. You can't do that.
Straight up.
You can't do that. And Isaiah Thomas was the guy that was out there doing it. So if there's one thing that anybody should take away from his story, his grind.
Well said, man. Well said. That's a way to stamp it for sure. But lastly, Derrick, because again, this is a hip hop and basketball platform, and it's been a minute since I asked this question, but real ones already know what's next. I need your 5x5. Because this is hip to the games, you need to give us your 5 favorite basketball players all time and your 5 favorite MCs.
Ooh, Jesus, man. Oh my God. Okay. My 5 favorite basketball players. It goes without saying, Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah.
Paul Pierce. Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan. Tim Duncan.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. I like those silent, quiet.
Yeah, there is a theme there. Yeah.
The silent assassin is just...
I can show you better than I can tell you. Yep.
Yeah. And Tatum is on that. He's there now for me too. But you said 5, so I'm trying to think of the all timers. But
I'll let you put a 6, man. It's cool.
Yeah, Tatum's there. Okay. Yeah.
I respect how fast you came up with that. Respect.
Oh, thank you.
I know I put people on the spot when I ask them that, so you were ready for it. But what about the MCs though? That's a different ball game.
MCs. Okay. J. Cole is my absolute favorite. I was just listening to Friday Night Lights before hopping on here. But yeah, as you see, backdrop, Born Center. But yeah, J. Cole, Kendrick, Biggie, Tupac.
Have to.
I'm gonna put Jay-Z there.
Okay.
No 6 man.
You look like your mind was you. I don't know, when you said Jay, you look like there was somebody next to him, and we can't see who that is.
Yeah.
I'm just instigating.
So, Wale.
Come on, man. Come on.
He's one of those guys that's significantly underrated too. But these are the guys that got me through like a lot of stuff college and a lot of life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the top 5 that I continuously listen to for whatever reason. So actually say 6. I'm sorry, because I said Wale. So I'm going with all of them.
That's dope.
You know,
That's dope.
I you know, you want to put other people in there as well, but those are the guys.
Yeah, I feel you. You really got about like a top 50, but you know, it's tough to narrow down to 5.
And I don't even know how to order them. That like I got J. Cole, and everybody else falls wherever they fall. Like it's just like it is what it is for me, you know.
But Derrick, dare I say, and again, if memory serves me correct, you were probably the fastest person to ever give me their 5x5. If I'm thinking about all of that, like I'm sitting here like he really was ready for that. He was really ready for that. Like I'm like and I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
And you included my dog Wale. Like again, you know, even he's on my 5x5, and I haven't had anybody say him since. So you know, here we go. Like I love it, man.
Cold. That man's cold. List. Of that generation, I'm gonna be honest with you, he's 3. It's J. Cole.
Hey, talk about
it's Kendrick.
Talk about
it's Wale.
Because he low key got his foot in the door before those guys did. He had to take the L so those guys could learn. That's a different conversation. I don't want to get too long winded.
Yeah.
but if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But Derrick, man, thank you so much for your time and bringing your fandom to H2DG and reminding us why we all had to be there to see Isaiah Thomas, the remix, new gen Isaiah Thomas. It's exactly what Hip to the Games is all about, man. But before you go, please let our listener here know how they can follow you, how they can stay up to date with you and your endeavors and things of that nature, and anything else you want to plug and promote.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you can follow me at Derrick_OTS. That's DERRICK, the black way to spell it. OTS actually stands for On the Sidelines. That is my media company. I'm on hiatus right now, but that OTS Media Co. all social media platforms, OTS Media on YouTube. Check out all the shows we have going on. Desmond was kind enough to come on to the show. Man, like what, 2 months ago now? Like right before the
right before the playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah. So love having him on. Love having you on that show, bro. Like that was when I tell you, like I was nervous because I had to take lead. I don't like taking lead as a host. that mess, bro. But that was fun as hell. So I appreciate you for coming on. And you're welcome anytime. Like that was fun for sure.
I appreciate that for sure.
Yes,
man,
sir.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
But there it is, man. Thank you, Derrick. And thank you for listening to another episode of Hip to the Games, all for the love of the best combo there is. And of course, here's a huge shout out to you for being hip to the games. Peace out and God bless. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Hip to the Games. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit up the socials at Desmond Powell _ and at Hip to the Games on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok so you don't miss out on the fun. And please follow or subscribe to the show and leave a review on the podcast platform you're on right now, as your support is greatly appreciated.